Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you're watching Oi Works. I'm the Baldy Britbloke and this is my YouTube channel. Enjoy! In this video we will be working on repairing Colleen's front bumper, but first a quick tidy up. Twisted! Alright! Okay. Carpet underlayment, got to protect the knees and the bottom of Colleen's front bumper. I'd mentioned previously that this particular too much bacon and eggs body kit, somebody put this lad on a diet. Bumper, the chrome front and back bumpers are crazy expensive. Even used ones in not perfect shape, which is baffling to me because I've gone online and looked at various auctions down in the US, and there's quite a few of these made. Oi, Porker, let's talk more action. I watched one 2 weeks ago, sold for a good price. It was a clean title, and if I'd have bought it, the kicker would have been shipping it up here, and then obviously you have to pay customs and duties on it. So until it becomes, one of these becomes available up in Canada, anyone out there knows of one of these chrome edition front bumpers available anywhere in Canada, let me know, and I think it'll be worth me having it shipped here, because although this will be repairable, it's going to be quite a lot of work, because it's actually I have a tear here, and then I'll still have the top piece of chromed plastic that's broken at the end. There's a way around that, and by that I mean I'll be putting a front mount number plate holder here. Because she was from Montreal, she had no front number plate, so I have to have one for here in Ontario. And I was thinking a license plate mount that just screws into the tow hook. The tow hook receptacle, the same as what I've got on Audi. Still, enough chatter, so I'm waffling again. I'll pick this up and we'll start trying to shape it. Yeah, about time you got that backside into gear. There we go. I'm just trying to figure out where will be the best place to put the camera so you can see what it is I'm doing. Even that isn't good enough. Let's move you again. Sweet. So if I zoom you in, this is a tear or a cut. That isn't a problem, I can repair that quite easily. It's this bit up here, because as it's cut there, and then up here it's crazed and it's distorted the contour. So what I'm going to have to do is push that back in as much as I can once I've heated it up, hold it in position, take the bumper skin off again and work it on the bench downstairs, because then I've got to... Come on man, just get on with the flipping thing. Heat it from the back with the plastic welder and roll in or run in some extra plastic to hold it in place. Going to be a challenge. And actually the distortion to the bumper continues up here, and it's flattened here somewhat. This piece won't be here, it will come out because there's going to be a bumper license plate holder going there. So at this point here we're trying to push down, and then when we take her off and get her down onto the bench, this point here we've got to push out from the other side. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you like my content, please give it a thumbs up. So already I can see that she's starting to wobble. Come on baby girl, let's do this. You won't be able to pick it up from there, but what's starting to happen is, yeah, it's flipping hot, but it's starting to settle towards the contours that I want. So what we're trying to do here is confuse how the molecules have settled in the coal. There was snow on her when she was collected from the yard and delivered here. We're trying to confuse it and unsettle the distortion that's already been set in place by the accident and then being stored out in the cold. Encourage it to work with what I'm trying to do. That sounds like a load of BS, doesn't it? But it's actually true. And it is working, so that's encouraging. I'm just going to get a piece of wood so that I can push on that and help it. The other thing I didn't mention is there's actually stretch marks here. Although it was cut and it was torn, it pulled the plastic out of shape. So by doing this, we're relaxing the stretch as well. Which is actually going. This is actually going a little bit too fast. The bumper is actually melting, which I didn't really want. You can see how floppy that is. Can you see how floppy that is? It's got a lot of movement in it now, which is excellent. So as it's cooling down, I'm trying to work it along from this direction. This is cool, this is the correct shape, this piece. So we're just trying to help formation slowly work along. You see, it's actually melting the plastic and removing the finish paint, which isn't a problem. I'm just being a bit too aggressive with it. Oh, that's good, that's good. I'm pleased with that. This section here, this piece, from here to here was part of the tear, and what's happened, because I've heated it up so much, it's actually melted, and so it's sunk, but it's also welded itself, which is okay, we can work with that. What I would like is for this little piece here to get welded, and leave this piece so I can still work with it, but it may not happen like that. That is a whole lot better than it was when I started. Do you know what? I have a feeling that is almost all I need to do. Because once that's cooled down and hardened up, it's a flipping shame we haven't developed a watch and sniff level of photography. I can smell the plastics heating up, and it's really hot. It doesn't smell like it's burning, but it's giving off this really warm smell. Once I finish this little bit that I'm doing now, I'll leave it to cool. It'll probably take an hour, I should think. I'll leave it an hour to cool down, then I'll whip the bumper off, take it downstairs, and we'll actually start working on it. Properly working on it. We'll start welding it, sanding it down, and prepping it. It's odd. I haven't worked with plastic really much before, but here it's hard and it's rigid. And when this was really hot, it's cooled down a bit now, but it was like holding a bag full of water. Like the outer skin wasn't breaking, but it was all floppy. And I think that is gonna be good. Okay. Let's get you in closer to have a look at what I've done. So what we've got to encourage and rebuild is this little bit here is slightly dented, and we're trying to get this line to follow down to here, which is the same as what it does this side. This line follows down here to there. And we've also got these tears to repair. And I am quite confident that this is going to turn out well. So we'll pick up back with this in an hour when it's cooled down, and then we'll go downstairs and we'll start working on it. I brought the front bumper from Colleen downstairs, and I've put her on the bench. I'm going to start plastic welding the back of it. I am not too sure how far I'm going to get with this, because I had hoped to get this video out tomorrow. Well, I'm going to get it out tomorrow, so I may not be able to take it as far as I had hoped, and I may have to put this on the next video. Certainly won't get on to actually making good, but we will get some of the plastic welding done. And this is what we're going to be welding. We're fortunate in that the profile of the bumper has not been too badly damaged, but I have an old bumper from Sally which I kept, so I'll be able to cut out some little bits and pieces and piece them in there and weld them in. It's the same material. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Whew. Smoking. Is I'm just going to cut a bit out of Sally's old front bumper, tiny little piece, put it in there and melt it in. And while we are heating up, I think I'm going to cut another piece. Loving the little kids play next door. I really miss my girls. So you can just see the little piece that I pieced in from the back. Just see it peeping through there. Well, let's see how this goes, shall we? If you're not already following me on my Instagram, jog over there and check it out. It's oi_works, and on there you'll get sneak peeks of what it is I'm working on, and also I post little bits and pieces of what's going on during my day, mostly car related but not all of it, so check it out. And then of course, if you're not already subscribed to this channel and you enjoy the content, please show your support for me and what I'm doing by subscribing and hitting the like button. I've got the contours how I want, and I've got the shape back where I believe it should be. But because I've had to fill the tear that was in there, this piece of plastic here, although it's not going to be seen, is extremely fragile. It's very thin. So what I'm going to do now, the plastic weld kit that I got, it came with some little pieces of steel gauze. So I'm just going to cut a thin strip and lay it across there, and then using one of the plastic beads that came with it, like a welding bead, just melt some of the plastic bead over the top of this gauze. I know that I'll have to use some of this gauze on Colleen's back bumper. I might as well do it on this as well, because that way I'll have a little bit of practice on a piece that's easy to work on. But this is a little plastic stick, the plastic welding stick that comes with the welding kit, a bit like a welding rod. Okay, well that I know is going to be a lot stronger than it was. This is where the front styrofoam, front rebar impact cushion runs through here. So this isn't too much of a problem, just as long as there's no big lumps that will push it off that. So once it's all cooled down, I start working on the front with the body filler. I'll just come in the back here and sand it all down to make sure that it's smooth. This is Colleen's back bumper on the operating table now. So I'll just give you a quick look around it. There's a crack here, which I've actually already fixed, just so you know what it is we're looking at. That's the passenger side. This is the driver's side. This was the side that was the worst hit. So this was split here, which I've actually glued back together. I use mitre bond for things like that. So I'm going to weld this back on, this little piece here. This was quite badly cracked because it was actually torn. Crack isn't the right word, it was torn where it was pushed in, where the impact was. There was crazing here on the outer paintwork, which I heated up, and it's actually shrunk back to almost the position it needs to be in. There's this here, that's actually a split, a little dent. That's okay, that can be fixed, no problem. It was bent out of shape here, and it followed all the way across here to here. I've heat gunned that, and it's gone back almost to what it should be. This is raised, so that can be sanded out. This is raised, so that can be sanded out. This I will weld. This piece I will weld, and that corner piece I will also weld. Now I'll lay it down and I'll show you the worst part of the damage. Was where Colleen's exhaust is. It actually had melted the plastic. That's not a problem. I can cut a piece out of Sally's old front bumper and put it across there. I'll just neaten this up because I've got a different exhaust tailpipe going on, which you may have seen in one of the videos I'd already released. This has actually bent itself out of shape like that. So while I'm welding it, I've got to apply pressure on it to pull it together that way. This will have to have the stainless steel gauze put onto it to hold it. This is the inside of the bend that has gone back almost to the shape that it needs to be. So that's awesome. That's the piece that's going to be the most work. Here's where the inside of where the tear was. I'll weld that. Oh, that's another piece. It's actually split that, but that's okay, we can just weld that back. And here is the inside of the tear. It's on the driver's side. That's no problem, we can also run a weld in there. Little pieces like this we'll just weld back to make sure that they hold properly. And this is where the back tyre was rubbing. I have another back bumper, but it's just off a regular cube, and I don't think from memory it has these inner plastic pieces to hold the bottom of the bumper into shape. I don't think so. If it does, then I'll just drill out these little funny rivets and replace it. But what I was thinking I would do is just neaten that up by cutting it. Neaten this up by cutting it. Put a new piece in there, and she'll be good to go. Sounds easy. It's relatively easy, but it's quite a lot of work, as it's not something that can be rushed through. And we'll tackle that sometime soon. And that, people, brings us to the end of another short video. Thank you for watching. You know what to do. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and stay tuned for the cheeky little video I've got coming up for you soon. Ta-ra and Toodle-pip.